Psalm 32:8. I will instruct you and teach you in the way you should go. I will counsel you with my loving eye on you. This is a perfect portrayal of the type of teacher I hope to be by fulfilling the call that Jesus has on my life. Hi, my name is Maggie Hendricks, and today I will be teaching you about my high school English assignment. First, my content area is high school English, and my TEK is all about the recognition and understanding of theme. This TEK covers students analyzing, making inferences, and drawing conclusions about theme in different contexts, while also providing evidence from the text to support their understanding. The technology that I have chosen is the podcast app. Next, for my assignment, my students will break into groups of 2 to 3, and then they will decide from a list of provided books which book they want to dive into as a group to find the theme. After finding the theme, students will record a talk show podcast between group members as they thoroughly discuss the theme, ask at least 2 deep questions, and weigh how the overall theme affects the novel. This will be an effective project because the National Survey of Student Education found that positive group experiences have been shown to contribute to student learning, retention, and overall college success. So my assignment will not only allow them to find success in my classroom, but will also set them up for success in future careers or as they go off to college. Now I am going to discuss how my assignment follows the ISTE standards. First, the learner is shown through my incorporation of technology into this assignment. Also, my research beforehand to see that group work would benefit my students aids the learner standard. Lastly, the 4 C's of technology are very present in this assignment, as my students have to use technology for their creativity, sort through a lot of information in the books and organize that into their talk show. This is also shown through collaboration with their group and from students absorbing information through technology from their other classmates' presentations. Also, leader is shown because this assignment leads to personal empowerment for my students as I am giving them the spotlight. Also, I will make sure that all of my students have a technological resource, and if they do not, I will get one provided to them by the school. Next, the citizen standard is met because my students are able to make a positive influence on the digital world through their inspiring and creative ideas. Also, I will educate my students on the importance of staying safe online through the protection of their identity and digital footprints. Also, the collaborator standard is shown because my students are working in groups with other students. The co-learning aspect of collaborator is shown as my students actually become the teacher in this assignment as I learn from their perspectives. The designer standard is very significant in this assignment as it is learner-driven, formed around my content area. My students are using digital tools, and there is an aspect of variability in the freedom of which book they choose, how they want their talk show to go, the theme they think is significant, and the questions they choose to ask. The facilitator standard is equally important as my students form thoughts and ideas independently, but then also get to discuss and merge those ideas into one thought throughout their groups. Also, technology is helping their learning of their own books and their classmates. This assignment also fosters a lot of creativity. Finally, the analyst standard is shown through this not being my only assignment throughout the year to assess their knowledge of theme, as I will offer other summative assignments before this formative one. Also, there is open communication between my students, their parents, and myself as I assess the progress of my students throughout the year. My assignment is an example of augmentation because the podcast serves as a direct substitution of a regular presentation, but also increases students' potential and productivity through the depths of the assignment and the addition of their peers. Augmentation also occurs because new technological skills are learned through using the podcast app. My assignment also follows Webb's DOK because I am measuring my students' context through the analysis of this assignment at the end of the year. The levels of his DOK are Level 1, Acquired Knowledge, which is shown through them remembering facts. Level 2, Application, students use learn concepts to answer questions. Level 3, analysis. This is where complexity increases as students use planning and reasoning to explain how concepts can provide results. Level 4, augmentation. This is extended thinking as students have to ask how their learning can be used in the real world. All 4 levels are used in my assignment because my students have to know what theme is. They have to draw on that definition to find theme in their book. Then they have to plan out their own arguments and questions for other students to answer. And lastly, they have to apply this to their own talk show. The technology app that I will be requiring is Podcast, and my students will access this on their smartphones or through provided school tablets. If the technology fails, we will set up a fake talk show in the class, and my students will go through their presentation and then ask live questions from their studio audience, which will be their fellow peers. Assessment and differentiation can both be seen through my students having a wide range of books that they can choose from, through their own process of applying what I have taught them to find the theme on their own, and then mastery of the subject will be shown through their ability to teach what they know to their classmates through their own presentations. Differentiation is also shown through being in a group, because someone's strengths might be your weaknesses and vice versa, so ultimately each person can contribute and shine in their own unique way. Differentiation is also evident for the gifted students because there's a lot of freedom with how deep someone could go in their analysis. So this assignment does not restrict the gifted students or bring down other students because of its great freedom and range. Finally, here are all the links I used in APA format for the pictures and facts that I used. Thank you so much to listening to my presentation over my high school English assignment.